Hey guys, Kid from Famous by Friday Pickleball. Gonna bounce through some of your comments this week. Really excited about this. As always, haven't looked at them ahead of time. So let's go. All right. Start with the first one. This is on the Pickleball Apes Charm. I put out that video on Saturday. It's kind of a cool paddle. The foam paddles are really getting better. So the first comment's on the Pickleball Apes Charm, and it is from the Bod High for Life. I love it. The Bod High for Life. Great review. Really sounds like a really good all-around paddle. Thanks. It is. The foam core paddles are getting so much better. Are they the magic stick? No. They haven't really caught up to like Gen 3 or Poly Cores. But they're getting close. They're really, really getting close. That gap has narrowed so much. It is a really good all-court paddle. It does some really cool things. It's very soft. So if you like a soft paddle, if you like to kind of catch the ball and throw the ball, go back to the soft, loosen the tension on the strings in tennis where you could really throw the ball. That's really what the Pickleball Apes Charm is. You kind of catch the ball, you throw it. Now you're going to have more velocity doing that, of course, and you're going to have a little chaos. But it's soft, and it's got the dwell time is so forgiving, and it's really got the touch is where it's just outstanding. It is a really good paddle. I could play with it. It's got game. Pickleball Apes across the board. I love what Pickleball Apes has done. They have a paddle for pretty much every need or every player. They've done a great job. A cool company. All right, the next comment is on the My City pickleball paddles. If you watch that review or remember that review, that is the company that really good paddles, really nice paddles. But they have different cities from the U.S. and cities from around the world as well, and they're all personalized with that city's kind of culture. It's cool. They're a super cool company, and they're super cool to work with. And this comment is actually from My City Pickleball, which is really nice. Thank you so much for checking out and reviewing our paddles. We appreciate you. We'll have to add Arkansas, that's where I'm from, to our paddle lineup soon. Well, thank you. You're so great to work with, and I really appreciate that. And it's so cool what you're doing. I think that's really, they're making them so personalized. And if you're proud of where you come from and proud of where you play, and they're great paddles. I mean, they're really good. Thank you for being a part of me as well and helping that. So I love it. The next comment's on the Pickleball Apes Charm as well. This is from Paulin2844. You have written me before. Charm review, and I like it. Charm review. It's a cool paddle. Thank you for watching it. It's got a bunch of views already. So people have caught on to Pickleball Apes and like what they've done in the past, and that's awesome that they're catching on to all of this and know that's a cool company. So very good. The next one is on the Babylon Monster Plus Pickleball Paddle Review. All right, that's been a moment ago. This is from Antonio Pang 4493. Hello, I would like your opinion. Which pickleball paddle can generate a lot of spin? Thank you in advance for your attention. Oh my gosh, I have rubbed my head there just for a second. Generate a lot of spin. Oh gosh, you're catching me kind of off guard on that. So I don't want to mention anybody because I'm gonna leave a lot of them out. That's the problem with doing these just live. Any paddle, any polycore paddle that has the CFC layer, the fiberglass carbon layers, the 3 layers, are really good at spin. They grab the ball and they hang on to it, especially Gen 3, because you're going to have a little flex there. Once again, you're catching the ball a little bit and then you're throwing it. Any of those paddles have a lot of spin. The Foam core paddles are catching up to spin. They're not quite there yet, but they are catching up. But if you're looking for just pure spin, I would go with one of those paddles. There's some cool paddles out there that have just a ton of spin, and spin is. I hate to start mentioning paddles because I'm going to leave somebody out. I'm probably going to leave the best one out, which is even worse. But I would check those out. You might watch because I'm kind of a top spin enthusiast, coming from a tennis background. So I would almost maybe check out my videos a little bit more. I'm sorry I can't just answer this off the top of my head, but I would look for the Gen 3 poly cores that have the multiple layers on the surface. You don't want to get one that's just a poly core and has just one layer, because that ball isn't going to stay on there really long enough to grab it and throw it. Yeah, there's some cool. I'm a kind of a spin enthusiast too. I would love to know what kind of paddles you've had, what kind of paddles you've tried. Yeah, and honestly, definitely go with the T700 carbon fiber surface primarily. I'm going to throw Selkirk under the bus. The Infinigrits, any spray painted surface, any kind of gimmicky surface. Now I say that, but the Pickleball Apes paddles do not have a T700 carbon fiber surface. They have a aramid fiber weave, if I remember correctly, and they do grab the ball really well. So it doesn't have to be a T700, but once again, look for multiple surfaces and something that really almost catches the ball a little bit, where you can, lots of dwell time where you can really throw that ball. That's a great question. That's honestly great. That's the bad part. I might try and answer you, answer your reply online versus that's tough because there's really good paddles out there for spin, and yeah. Thank you. That's a great question. But those are the ones I would check out. The next comment is on the Flick F1 Terracore XC. Very good paddle. This is from CryptoVin. You're the only reviewer that gave the F1 some love. It's a good paddle. I could play with it any day. Yeah, it's a good paddle. Yeah, I'll stand by that any day. It's a good paddle. I like it. Great company to work with, and a really, really good paddle. I could put that paddle in my bag anytime. I like it a lot. The Falcon, not a huge fan of the Falcon, but the F1X, the new one. There was two of these. So the original Flick came out with one initially that wasn't great, but then when they updated it to the Flick F1 Terracore XC, that is a really, really good paddle. So there may be some mix up in the reviews there too, but that's a really, really good paddle. Really good stuff. Like it a lot. All right, that is the end of the new comments for this week. I'm going to make sure. But yes, that's the end of the comments for new comments this week. I want to, last week I kind of talked about where to put weights on your paddle, lead tape, and why. Now I'm going to do something cool. I did this week, went out to the courts and did this a little bit on how much weight is too much and how much weight actually helps. I wanted to kind of get a little curve there. And I wanted to kind of show where the performance accelerates and then when the performance takes, just goes away. So check this out. We want to talk about, just where weight should be on your paddle and what's comfortable for you. So think of it like this. So you get your speed, you get your velocity from speed of the paddle through a hitting zone. When that paddle goes through that hitting zone, if you're fast, the ball's going to go. But if you have mass and speed too, the ball's even going to go faster. And so there's a ratio there of mass and speed. You want the most mass you can have and still maintain that speed. When you get too much mass, that speed goes down. If you have too much speed without mass, it really doesn't have any force behind it. So you lose the force. So you really want to find this kind of perfect moment where both equal out. Your speed through that hitting zone and the mass behind it, the plow through, where you get that force and get that going. So that's what we're looking for. And so I kind of played with that on the gun this week, hit some serves, and kept adding tape and kind of see where that happy place is. Think of it like you've got a brick wall. And if you've got a tiny sports car and you hit that at 70 miles an hour, well, the wall's going to win. But if you have a semi-trailer that's got a ton of mass and it's loaded and hits that same brick wall at 70 miles an hour, the brick wall might lose. It likely will lose. So that's the mass that goes through it. Now, let's go to another road. Now you've got curves and curves and curves. Well, the light sports car is going to be low to the ground. It's going to handle that really well, where the mass-loaded semi is not. So you want to find that perfect medium of, speed and mass where it's in this perfect level. And that's what I tried to show in this. So check this out, kind of looking for that perfect top of the wave where it's absolutely excellent. Check this out, and I'll be back. All right, guys, last week we talked about where to put lead tape and why. I did a whole video about this a few years ago. It's one of my most popular videos out there. You should check it out. It's very cool on where to put lead tape and what the results will be. But last week we just talked about putting it at the balance point of the paddle. I showed you how to kind of find the balance point where it's nice and sweet and kind of balances on the net. That way you know that that is the balance point of the paddle. Should be right there. That's pretty good. You can do this on your home table counter, whatever, kitchen counter, table, whatever, you could do it. You don't have to come out and use a net, but if you want to on the fly, you certainly can. So this paddle weighs in just out of the box static weight of 7.9 ounces. So I'm gonna hit a few serves at 7.9 ounces, show you the speeds on that, and then we're gonna put some more weight on here and then some more weight on here right at the balance point. I'm not gonna tip it one way or another, and we're gonna see where kind of the performance goes up and then when the performance goes down. All right, we're gonna start out with this, hit about 5 serves, get an average, and then we'll move on from here. All right. All right, guys, that wasn't bad for just static weight right out of the box. Let me put some lead tape on here, bounce it to about 8.2, and let's see what it does next. Okay, let me find the balance point again because I don't want to change that necessarily for this. That's pretty good, right in there. Okay. Put some lead tape on here real quick. It's gonna be about right. This is how easy that is to change and move around. Do whatever you want to do. Just for this display, I don't want to change the balance point too much because you can get crazy with that. This is just putting it so I don't change it too much. Let me check it right here. Really good. About the same. Kind of look at the top of the paddle where the numbers are. Really good. Okay, let's check this out. This is at 8.2. Let's check the speeds here before we go any further. All right. Okay, 8.25 is probably my happy place, but now I'm going to put some little thicker lead tape on here, bounce it to 8.4, kind of see how that goes. At 8.25 is probably my happy place, but let's see. Maybe adding more lead tape would be better. Let's check it out. Okay, guys, another cool part of this that I didn't really plan on talking about, the more weight you put on here, the easier it is to balance at its tipping point. Now the wind is blowing right now. But let's say you're going to play a match in the wind. Put some more lead tape on your paddle. The wind won't blow it as much. When you're swinging, you can control it more and you keep control of your game. Just an added thing in the wind. Throw some lead tape on a paddle. Try it. You'll be able to control your shots so much more. Just like here, the wind's not moving that as much, tipping it off the net as much because there's more weight involved. All right, guys, let's go hit some serves. I'll be back with some numbers. All right. Okay, guys, bounced a bunch more lead tape on here, got it to right at 8.7, 8.68, 8.7. Gonna try this. It already feels pretty heavy for me, but let's see. Shouldn't have to swing as hard back here to get the ball to go. Let's see what it does as far as velo. All right. Oh, look at that. Wind hardly blows it now. That's the idea. If you're in a windy condition, put some more weight on there. And if you've ever played out in the wind, you just feel that wind pushing the paddle all the time. The wind doesn't bother this at all anymore. It weighs enough. All right, guys, let's hit a few serves now and see how it does. All right, guys, that wasn't bad, but from a feel perspective, you don't feel like you have to move that paddle much at all, and the mass is just gonna get it going. And you swing just a little bit, it really flies. But I can see, and I don't know if you can see it on video, but the balls are getting heavier. They're getting deeper, they've got a little more penetration through the wind, and once they hit, they still have a heavy bounce, which is nice. So now, we're going up to 9.1 ounces. I gotta tell you, this is a level that I haven't really played a whole lot, so we'll see how it goes. Balance is still where it was. Looks really good. The wind is not bothering this paddle much at all. That is awesome, man. This is a two-hander's dream, honestly, at 9.1. I really feel like I want to put two hands on it forever. But let's check this out, see what it does. This may be gold. I don't know yet. I've never played at this weight, I don't think. So let's check this out, see what it does, okay? All right, guys, that was so much better than I thought at 9.1. So we're going to 9.5. Still the same balance point. Let's just see what happens here. This is far more than I normally play or ever play. 9.5. Let's see what this does. I'm telling you, this is crying out for two hands. Still doesn't feel terrible though. It really doesn't feel bad. It is now starting to feel just a little weighty though. So let's go see what this does. Who knows? All right. All right, guys, so what does all that mean? I hit enough serves, got enough of a database there, got a sweet curve that I was actually kind of surprised about, and I'm going to show you that now. Also came up with a couple of kind of bonus things along the way that really fit in well to this. So let's check this out. I'm going to show you the curve here and see kind of where my perfect weight is, or kind of close to that, and all the things that does for your game and why. So check this out. All right. Right, so here is the curve based on the weight and miles per hour average of the serves. You can see the 7.8 ounce level, the 49 mile an hour serve, still not bad, but you can see that it goes up. 8.4 was my highest serve average at 52.4 miles per hour. You can see once it gets over 8.6 to 8.7, if that average starts to drop and the performance starts to drop, it gets lower and lower up to the 9.6 ounce, that really, the performance started to curve off. That is really good. So 8.3 to 8.6 ounces is perfect for me at that balance point. It really provides the most speed and most power, most plow through, all of that, and really had good performance, good accuracy at that level. Really nice. So what does that mean as far as if you provide more power and more speed? Let's check that out. All right, so what does that mean? So at the optimal weight range of 8.3 to 8.6 ounces, you've got a 44 feet court. We all know that. That's end to end. So at 52.4 miles per hour, say on a serve, it'll travel that distance in 0.57 seconds. At 48.5 miles per hour, it'll travel in 0.62 seconds. That is a 50 millisecond difference. That doesn't sound like that much, but let's kind of put it into distance instead of milliseconds.
Right, so that 50 millisecond difference at 44 feet, the length of the court at 50 milliseconds, that equals 1 foot. If you can take 1 foot of time, and I know a foot isn't a measurement of time, but if you can take that much time, make that person, your opponent, that much later on a swing from the baseline, it is going to make a difference. It's just a little difference, but that's sometimes all you need. And where this is really, really going to add up is the 10 feet. The 4-mile-an-hour difference is 10 milliseconds. So, yes, the kitchen area is 7 feet long, but if you're reaching out over it, I'm going to subtract those 4 feet or the 2 feet from each side, give it 10 feet. 4-mile-an-hour difference is 10 milliseconds. That is a huge difference when you're that close to one another. Just gives you that much more punch, that's much more power. Another bonus during this filming, at the 8.3 to 8.6 ounce weight, the accuracy increased quite a bit. You could really just point and click. Now, once you got higher, got up to the 9.5 level, 9.1, all that accuracy, all the power went away at the same rate. That was a cool bonus that I didn't really expect from this. Also, the stability of the paddle. I showed that in the wind. But just in your hands, the stability was excellent at that weight. I think that's super cool. Guys, do not be afraid to try a little extra weight. This was a very cool experiment, and I like this a lot.
All right, guys, don't be afraid of weights. Again, don't be afraid of them. Try them. See what's best for your game. I'm shocked that 8.3 to 8.6 was really the range for me where I got the best performance, the best velocity, the best power, and the best accuracy as well. I was really shocked it was that high. I really like to play around 8.1, so I'm kind of surprised it was that high. So try it for yourself. See, go a little bit higher than you're comfortable with. It may work out. It may be really cool. All right, guys, it's almost Christmas. I really appreciate everything, all the comments, all the things. I love it. Thank you for watching. It's been a great year. Have a great Christmas. Let me show you real fast what's coming up. I think I've showed you a couple of these paddles before. The Dimple Headbanger, it's coming up. I'm not going to do a review this Wednesday because it's Christmas Eve, but still wanted to show you what's coming up anyway. Also, what's coming up is this thing, the Accelerate Excalibur. Had a request for this video, so I'm going to do this. Completely different, but interesting. I've already hit a little bit. Also coming up is the Proton. This is the Project Peacock. This is their new foam core paddle. Also coming up is the 6-0 Coral. I think I've showed you this before. It's coming up pretty quick too. I have played quite a bit with this one. So I would say coming up this weekend, I'll try and get something out on Saturday. And I think it'll likely be the 6-0 Core. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great Christmas. Just, be with your families, friends. I hope you have a great time. Get out and play pickleball. Hey, take the family out, play a little pickleball. It's, you know what? Introduce some people to pickleball. It's the sport we love. It's the addiction that we love. All right, guys, I'll be back with more content soon. Merry Christmas. Thank you for everything.